Okay, so we got two different data sets here, and if the goal is to make side-by-side box plots, what we're doing is we're treating them as their own separate columns, and then we're going to make a box plot for this first one and a box plot for the second one. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. So the summary statistics, I guess we'll do that first. This doesn't, the mean and the standard deviation don't affect your box plot, but the mean shots, and then we'll calculate the mean goals. Okay, I'm going to go to Google Sheets. Just typing in Google Sheets in Google search. All that stuff, I'm not going to sign in. Okay, so Google Sheets free, works right in our web browser. I'll type in the first column, and I'll type in the second column. Oops, last one was 1. Okay, so a quick way of getting the mean is you type in equals average, open a parentheses, click and drag, and then close the parentheses. So there, we calculate the mean shots. And then the mean goals, do the same thing, type in equals average, open a parentheses, click and drag the data. It's like you're putting the data inside two parentheses. And then the median, we're going to do the same thing for standard deviation, so I know that was the question. I type in equals median, click and drag, and then close the parentheses. That way I don't have to calculate it by hand. It's a lot quicker because I don't have to put it from least to greatest. I'll let Google Sheets do it. There's the median, and then the standard deviation. I'm just labeling it. You don't have to actually type this. This is the part that has to happen to calculate the standard deviation. Type in equals stdev dot s, a sample standard deviation. You only use dot p if you have the population, which is very rare. And then you click and drag. Okay, so same thing over here. Calculate the standard deviation, so equals stdev dot s. Open parentheses, click and drag, close the parentheses. So there's our standard deviation. So something we need for our box plots is the max and the min and the quartiles too. Okay, so the quartiles, I think we can get that from Google Sheets as well. But the quartiles are just the Q1, first quartile, is the median of the lower half of the data. So find the median, then use that to split your data in half. The lower half, you find the median of that lower half, and that's Q1. The upper half, you find the median, that's Q1 for the upper half. Okay, but let me see if I can remember the Excel/Google Sheets command for Q1. Just labeling it right now. This part isn't required. Q1 equals quartile, I think. Let's see. If I click and drag, and then if I put comma 1 after, I think that might do it. Yeah, I think that's it. So here, I'll show you what I did with the next one. Equals quartile, open a parentheses, click and drag the data that you want to find the quartile in, but then this one has an extra step. You got to put a comma and type in 1 to say, hey, I want the first quartile. And this one has 0 for the first quartile. Let me just double check. The median is 5.5, somewhere between 5 and 6. So anything below 5 is the lower half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just double checking to make sure it's doing it right. Lowest, highest, lowest, highest. Yep, that is Q1. And then Q3, the third quartile, type in equals quartile, open a parentheses, click and drag, and then you got to put a comma and then put a 3 after. So there's our third quartile. Same thing over here. Equals quartile, click and drag, but make sure to put a comma and then a 3 to tell Excel or Google Sheets that you're looking for the third quartile. Okay, we need that stuff to help us draw the box plots. Okay, and the goals variable, it isn't a very typical variable because it's not a lot of spread in it, but if I make a number line, I just want to consider the highest possible values in both data sets. Both data sets is 11, and the lowest possible value is 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was risky. I got lucky and I was able to count out 11 spaces there. So you probably want to start with 0 and then count out 11 equal spaces. But okay, so the way a box plot works is that we draw a line for the lowest value and then it connects to the box when you hit Q1. So let's do the shots on goal first. Okay. The lowest value in this data set is a 2. We're going to draw a line from 2 to the number 4. Here's 2, here's 4, here's 6. I'm just labeling so I can get this. Okay, so I need to draw a line from 2 to 4 because you draw a line from your lowest value to your first quartile. And then you can draw a box. So you're starting to draw your box and make a vertical line. And the box extends from Q1 to Q3. So I need to draw a box from 4 to around 8.75 on the number line. So that's our box from Q1 to Q3. And then the median is a vertical line in between. So the median is 5.5, so the median has a line right here. And then we draw the last whisker that connects all the way out to our highest point at 11 over here. So there we go. That's shots, okay? I'll also do goals because it's so different, but it follows the same rules, except there's going to be a little bit of overlap, I think. So in your shots column, lowest value is 0. Q1 is also 0, so the box actually starts at 0. And then the box only goes to 1. So this is what our box looks like for shots. What was the median? It was 0.5, so this is our median. We draw a vertical line right on top of where 0.5 would be. Then we need to draw a whisker out to where 2 is. Okay? And I think that's everything. That's what it should look like. So give that a try, follow my steps, draw this graph, and you'll be all set for the discussion. So the big thing here is that you're drawing side-by-side box plots of two different variables, right? Shooting and actual goals, those variables can fluctuate a lot. A team can have a ton of shots on goal, but maybe even 0 goals. So they're totally different beasts. So when you put them on the same number line, like this assignment's having us doing, we see a very different comparison. So this is like comparing apples and oranges. So this is a good one to use for our discussion. This is a good situation to say like, hey, we use side-by-side box plots to try to compare something, and this just emphasizes the difference between these two variables, between the shots variable and the goals variable.